Well, yeah, I was approached by Davo to come and work with Brownie. We've got a few sessions, I think it's 10 sessions in total. Just started off by looking at sort of the Ben's all-round game from where he finished off last season, and trying to add some pointers hopefully and some value. I don't think the purpose is to turn Ben into someone else or to try and keep like anyone else. The main point is to get Ben Brown to keep the way Ben Brown keeps and get the most out of his natural ability, talent, athleticism, whatever it may be. I don't think there's any point in trying to change anyone drastically, and Ben doesn't need changing. I think there's just a few little pointers that, like everyone, can look at and improve on. And it's also about getting into a place that you can perform consistently through the year. Everyone knows the county season is a long season, particularly for a wicketkeeper playing in all forms. There's a huge amount of workload, and you need to make sure that your technique supports that workload and sometimes gets you out of trouble if you're feeling a bit fatigued or wherever it may be. So we're just going through the whole package of wicketkeeping, really, whether it's stood back or stood up. But as I say, there isn't a major thing to change. It's just looking at all aspects, and if I can help 5-10%, then fantastic.
Yeah, you played with Ben a few years ago, so obviously you must have seen a bit of a progression in his game since then as well.
Yeah, definitely. But what I didn't want to do is come in with any preconceived ideas. Obviously, I didn't see him much last year, so it's more about talking to. And I always found that as a player, I got on far better with a coach who actually had an interest in how I felt and what I was looking to do, rather than someone just sort of preaching that you have to do it this way, or there's no other way of doing it. So it's more about finding out from Ben where he wants to go and where he wants to take his game as a wicketkeeper. And as I say, if I can then add input or experience or help in any way, then fantastic. So far, I've been blown away by the progression. We've had 4-5 sessions so far, and already in that time you can just see the changes being made, and they're really simple changes. And most importantly, what looks to be good is Ben's really enjoying keeping, getting the gloves on and doing the hard work. It's always a pleasure to work with someone that's prepared to work hard, put in graft and come out of their comfort zone. It's no good. I don't think you're going to make drastic enough improvements if you're just happy being comfortable and not wanting to push yourself. And I certainly know, Bruce French used to push me a huge amount, and I think that's one of the reasons why I was able to make steps forward in my own career. And I think that's what now I'm trying to do to Ben, but it only works if the athlete wants to do it and is prepared to put himself out there, and we're very lucky that Ben is that person. And I think we'll see huge steps forward.
It's a huge sort of privilege to be able to work with someone like Matt. Obviously played with Matt a lot. I think we always got on well from a wicketkeeping point of view and a personality point of view, and we were playing together. So when Mark Davies approached me about the opportunity for Matt to come in, I was so excited because I knew that relationship would work. And obviously, as I say, it's a privilege to have someone with Matt's experience and expertise in a field that doesn't always get that kind of attention. So no, look, it's hopefully a start of a great relationship from our point of view. And it's going really, really well at the minute.
Just speaking to Matt, obviously he said he didn't want to make any major changes in your game. It's more of a sort of consultation thing, isn't it? Just going through a few bits and bobs and just seeing how you're progressing, really.
Yeah, 100%, and that's always nice for a player because, if the coach comes in and wants to tear your game apart, I don't think there's any need for that. I'm just trying to get to the next level of consistency, the next level of performance, which is often very subtle, but it's also nice to have someone to push me to that work rate. Matt worked extremely hard himself, and he has as a coach, and we're getting session in there for an hour and a half in the indoor school by ourselves with all the equipment, with all the stuff. It's almost like a gym session, keeping session, which is a huge privilege for a wicketkeeper. We don't get that sort of attention, as I say, so no, it's been fantastic. Yeah, it's hugely unique, and obviously we're putting a huge amount of work in, but we're also talking about the game, we're talking about the things that happen during the summer, during games, during days, how to get through a day. It's it's almost that kind of that talk as well is just as important, because when there isn't a keeping coach or there isn't even another keeper on the staff, it can be really tricky when the times get tough and you don't feel in rhythm or you don't feel in form. Sometimes people don't always appreciate that, I guess, as a keeper. Everyone knows the batters gone 0, 3, 2, 4, they're out of form. Everyone sort of sees that, empathises with that and understands that. And just like a bowler gets 0 for 100, it's obvious. It's not always as obvious for the keeper. It's not always an option to be out of form as well. you've got to be the energy and you've got to be the drive behind the team. So there's nowhere to hide. And yeah, to have these conversations with Matt and to put a few things in process to make sure we can counter that in the summer is invaluable, really.
And I guess, like you say, it's just building up that relationship as well, isn't it? So it's not necessarily if you're doing an hour here, during the summer, like you say, if things aren't going as well, you can call Matt and just ask for a bit of advice, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that relationship will develop like that naturally as well. So to have that kind of ear on the phone, even, and hopefully be able to see Matt in the summer as much as possible. Obviously, we'll be travelling around the country as you do as a county cricketer, but yeah, to know that there's somebody who can just watch over my technique. You might just see one game every now and again and just make a couple of points. That'll be it. That'll be crucial.
Well, it's the first, the first thing we spoke about was how the wicketkeeper is the last, thought about man within any team, within any setup. But I also know how important, I've mentioned Bruce French was to my career. I literally used to pack him up and take him around the world with me because I knew he was vital to my performance out on the pitch. And ultimately, this is about individuals performing to help Sussex win games of cricket and Sussex win trophies and get promoted, etc., etc. So, the keeper is a vital part of any team. Everyone knows that. Everyone talks about the engine room, the drummer of the band, and yet they very rarely get the individual treatment that they need. Obviously, being a keeper myself, I'm probably a bit more sensitive to that than the bowlers and the batsmen, but I think it's vital that we have this time, and having the one-on-one sessions and the space as well is really important. I think it's no good having to do a session while there's batters over there and bowlers and balls flying around. You can't do the work you need to do. You need time, you need space, and that's what we've got. We're very fortunate to have that here at the indoor school, and as I say, well, hopefully Ben will take a lot from it.